I find the American dream is so fake.
Okay. All right.
And then the British people are just so proud.
What happens when the immigrants such as yourself, because obviously you're trying to help Ugandans come there, but at a time, those whites might be upset that these immigrants are taking opportunities from them because they've been there and they feel like they built this country, and the new people who are from their country are changing the country into what is different from what their forefathers wanted it for them.
Yeah.
So have you experienced those conversations coming? Because typically that will happen.
Well, it's there. It's real. That is racism. Racism is there. It's racism.
You think it's racism?
It's racism.
Why do you think it's racism?
Hi guys, welcome to Uganda. My name is Janita Maya and this is the Repat podcast. Now, today's episode, we are joined by a very lovely and beautiful lady here by my side. I want you to tell the people who you are and what you do.
Hi, my name's Salome Namvle, aka Mama Pitou,
Yeah.
and I'm married
Wow.
to a male.
Okay. Shout to be
She had
specific.
to say that.
As people are moving mad.
Okay.
I have 2 kids, of course.
Yeah.
Sammy and Solange. Shout out to everybody that is watching and been around. And most of the people know me by Mama Pitou,
Yeah.
because I give a lot of tips on immigration, but specifically Canada, because it's the only country that I know, that I love, that makes wonders, that is the it.
Whoa.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the only country that I know, I love, and it has the real stuff, the real deals.
What do you mean? But the real deal is like,
Other
America
than-
the
I
fake one?
I find the American dream is so fake.
okay. All right.
And then the British people are just so proud
Mm-hmm.
with
Okay.
a nice accent, not so real.
The uptight.
So, anyways, to me,
Mm.
I believe Canada is the deal.
Okay.
If you know me, that's how people know me.
Okay.
Perfect. What's a way to it? I like that. O'Shea. tell the
I've
people.
never been to Canada, but she did tell me that they have weed out there. So I don't smoke weed, but accidentally.
You could.
Last time I had some weed was in the Netherlands, so I might have to go and see what's up.
Yeah.
Hope my mom ain't watch this. The last time I got high, I called my mom actually. So O'Shea
Shout out
from
to her.
California, yeah. She couldn't believe what I was telling her, but I had to make a dream come true again, Mom, in Canada. All right.
We love her on here. Shout out to her. Like you mentioned, I'm gonna call you Mama Pitou.
Yes.
Pitou. When you say Pitou, what does it stand for? Because
It's,
your number is saved with that name. The Pitou is everywhere. So I was just like, what is Pitou?
Back in the days, with my firstborn, I was a teen mom.
Okay.
When I moved to Canada, that time, I left Uganda when I was pregnant. So when I went to Canada, the way they received me, the way they treated me versus living Uganda, like, when you get pregnant before the actual marriage, you're like a prostitute, a wasted, whatever.
Oh.
Loose.
But but when I went to Canada, they welcomed me. Like, I had counselors to talk to me. Did you consent? Did you like it? Do you like your pregnancy? Like and all that kind of thing. And I was like, wow. Versus here in Uganda, it was like, oh wow. She's a prostitute, she's this, and to make matters worse, like, I'm a Catholic, so it's
Yes.
a priest that really sponsored me to go to Canada and took care of me. So it was like, oh, the child is priest, when it was my penny Paul, but he was my dad. When your dad is like so religious,
Yeah.
you have to be like them. There's no option for sinning. There's no option for doing
Like a
stupid stuff.
pastor's child. for lack of a
Exactly.
better
So
word.
the judgment was too much.
Mm.
So his name was Pitou. He's a French Canadian. Passed away, rest in peace, my dad. So that's where I got the word Pitou. Then I said Teenage Mothers Foundation. I was like, when I get a chance to go back to Uganda, I'll just make a charity, like using his legacy, his name, because he did a lot to me. So yeah. So that's why it's Pitou. And I decided to be their mamas because
Yeah.
I was already a mom. So the foundation actually exists in Uganda. Wakiso district is for the teen moms. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm Mama Pitou.
Oh, okay. That's a very good explanation. I actually didn't know all of that.
Yeah,
Thank you for all the good work that you do for the teen moms.
I know.
Just another question. I hope it's not intrusive. Your husband is Ugandan or Canadian?
He's Ugandan.
Ugandan Canadian or Ugandan Ugandan?
Ugandan Canadian. Well, right now we are Canadians, right?
That's
So
what?
he's Ugandan but Canadian.
Oh, okay. So you met him in Canada?
No,
In
he's
Uganda?
yes,
Oh, okay.
it's actually my high school sweetheart.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. That's nice. Anyhow, I'm getting sidetracked by all the love that's on here. The thing was, we talked about you being a Ugandan and a Ugandan in Canada,
Yeah.
and you moving there, and we have so many Ugandans who have actually looked at moving to Canada. I feel like for the past months or so,
Mhm.
I now see like so many Ugandans moving to Canada, whereas before it was Ugandans are moving to to the States
Yeah.
or to the UK, but now Canada is like the next, I guess, is it a new country or
The new
catch?
frontier.
The new
Yeah.
catch, yeah.
Yeah. But how is that? How did that come about? Like what did Ugandans see in Canada? Because even Nalumo
Yes.
was Canadian.
Yes.
Or is.
I think Canada right now, like seriously speaking, it's the one of the most countries that can accommodate immigrants. We have to see like why people are traveling, why people are leaving Uganda, why people are going so much in the diaspora. So Canada is so welcoming, it's so accommodative, and on top of that, it has a lot of social benefits, especially to a newcomer or to a new migrant or to somebody that wants to start life, you know? And a lot of people live in the diaspora, Oshay, I think you can witness.
Mm-hmm.
They stay there for so long without an immigration status,
Mm-hmm.
without having what people call papers or whatever, that kind of thing. In Canada, people are getting status in less than a year or two. It's crazy. It's crazy. So that's why.
Why? Okay, maybe my question is a bit, but someone can look at it like, why is that? Because we see the states that are like honing down on immigration and whatnot, and then we see Canada is just opening its arms to everyone. Is there a specific reason as to why?
Since COVID-19,
Mm-hmm.
Canada was hit so much because it's a big, huge country with a lot of old people. So we lost a lot of people in COVID. And then also it opened up the immigration department or the ministry. It opened up doors to migrants because all the Canadians, we are running away from the front line, especially in nursing homes, especially in health, because people were actually dying. So it's the immigrants that were on the front line when everybody was leaving or like, no, I can't do it. So there we got like a bonus. Then another thing when it comes to education, like it's so affordable for parents to put students in schools in Canada. Very affordable. Then
When you say affordable, is it like, do they give like free education from a certain age?
even
and
the
then you pay?
tuition is so affordable. Even scholarships are there. Like it's easier on the parents. It's easier on the international students, And the visas, it has become a little bit complicated. And some of the countries are now red flagged, especially with the student visas like India and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But before, it was so easy to get like a student visa to come to Canada. It was so easy to get a tourist visa to come to Canada. Things are changing a little bit because of, when people get to know things,
Oh yeah.
also they start to say, oh, why, right? The politics, of course, itself,
Yeah.
about migrants and Black people. You hear what is happening in America, know. So, but Canada, it's somewhere that I would wish somebody I love or so dear to me to really
Move.
move to.
But let me ask you this. You said a lot of Ugandans are leaving the country and going to the diaspora. Now, there's two schools of thoughts. Like Uganda has a lot of opportunities. That's one idea. that some people want to move to Uganda
Yeah.
because of opportunities.
Yes.
But when I encounter the majority of people, they're trying to.
To actually run
So
away.
which one is the truth out of the two? Or is there some truth in both?
There's some truth in both. To my experience,
Mm-hmm.
like if you want settlements, because here people go to school and they still don't get a job.
Mm-hmm.
In the diaspora or in Canada, where I stay, to my experience, if you go to school, you can't fail to get a job. It may
Mhm.
be a struggle, or you may have a job that it's not to your expectation,
Mm-hmm.
but you will have a job.
Mm-hmm.
But people here are graduating and they have no jobs. Seriously, they go back to zero.
Mm-hmm.
You
True.
know, so there's some truth in it. But if you're well established and you have some good money to invest in Uganda, sure, it's a good opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
but with a lot of frustration.
What kind of frustrations
Are there?
would you talk about? Tell us.
Investing in Uganda,
Yeah.
The frustrations, whatever they may be.
yeah, it's the trust
Okay.
in the people. Like even going there, it's like you try to make a business.
Mm-hmm.
It's like people frustrate you so much because people are not real, people are not trustworthy.
Mhm.
When people
Integrity.
think like you're from the diaspora, I think they call us Basama, they think
Yeah.
you have. So they
Mhm.
take advantage, which is kind of not fair.
Mhm.
For example, back in the days as a girl, you know, coming back home, people be like, oh, bring me perfumes, la la
Yeah.
la, I'll pay you. Oh, bring me a laptop, bring me
Yeah.
a phone. When you reach there with this stuff and you used your money, actually people don't pay.
Imagine.
So if it's just a simple
Mm.
business that I can even say,
Mhm.
but even if you go open up a shop, like with my experience, if you're not on the ground for so long,
Uh-huh.
you'll be frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like the way things.
I don't know how you guys do it, but
No. Well,
That's
by the
another
grace of
episode.
God. You're asking how it is for people here. I think the frustration is definitely there. I'm sure she can shed light on that for another episode.
Mhm.
But definitely the frustration is there. But you are unique in my eyes.
yeah.
You have Ugandan roots.
Yes.
Meaning you have family here. You're not like a diaspora starting
Oh yeah,
from
I'm
scratch.
born and raised. Yeah.
Yeah, you have family here, you have
Yes.
friends here.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I would think maybe it wouldn't be as difficult for you as it would be for someone who's starting,
No,
from
it's the
zero.
worst case scenario.
Why is that? Would you
Mm.
say that? Why is that?
You can just work with family. It's
Oh.
a no. I'm sorry. I'm
No.
just being real.
Yeah.
So you mean
Just can
it's
work with
easier for somebody like me who doesn't know anybody here?
Yes.
It is.
You can work with family.
Even though I don't know Uganda, I don't know the culture, it's easier for me to come in and be successful.
I'll just give you a simple scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everybody, when they move from Uganda
Yeah.
to go to the diaspora, they think I'm going to heaven. The first thing when they are going on the airport, I'll build a house. I'm sorry. Majority, I'll
Yeah.
build a house. Let's start from there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just to trust a family member to build for your house.
The pressure. Yeah. No.
The pressure, wait, for you to build your family a house.
Even your own house, even if it's family, even if you're like, I'm building it for my parents, it's a hassle. Like,
Yeah. I think what she's trying to say is like trusting someone on ground to help you construct that house while you are
And abroad.
abroad is a
Uh-huh.
bit
funds,
difficult because you can trust
Yeah.
Okay.
people
Okay.
to help you execute that. And you say that is family. Would you say it's because like maybe there's like some sort of familiarity, or is that a respect thing, or is it integrity in general?
It's
Do you think they would do the same thing to a different person if they were being paid?
they
or
wouldn't do
employed?
it to themselves. It's the integrity and the mindset that people in the diaspora, they have a lot of money. That there's no accountability for that money. If you try to question, it's like, why is she even asking? Excuse me, I work so hard for that money.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you ask why is she even asking?
Let's talk about
There's no why.
Oh.
If I like, okay, that door, okay, that window, okay, why? It's just a simple thing, like go buy me something on the shop.
Yeah.
They feel you don't deserve the change.
Yeah, I
I
get
don't
it.
know.
No,
So then let me ask you, because you said you worked so hard in the diaspora. How hard did you have to work once you got there?
Oh my God, when you're just there, you can work multiple shifts.
mm,
You sleep less. So that money needs to be respected for sure.
It's you work harder in the diaspora than even in Uganda.
Especially at the first years of your settlement.
Okay, let's talk about that, because people who might want to think about going to Canada, they don't know what, like being on time is very important in Canada.
mhm.
Yes.
We have some y'all who come late, but
Ugandan
what
timing.
happens in the like? Just talk to them about the
You
differences
just
culturally.
can't be late because it's clocking, like you swiping.
Right.
You just can't be late. It's a no.
Mm,
Can't be late. Some jobs you can't get sick.
okay.
Some jobs.
You have to keep showing up.
Yeah, you can't call in sick. Well, you can call in sick, but
How hard was it for you when you first got in the first few years?
the first few years in Canada, 'cause I went when I was pregnant, then I was a mother a little bit, but like going into the labor market, the first thing I was mentored that I had to go to school.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of mistakes that people do, they don't go to school when they go in the diaspora, but
Mhm.
it's actually so important at least to have at least the least, because some people go. Can we say about the age that people travel to? Like most of the people that I help are between 30, 35 to 40 or something like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
So people are already done with school. They
Mhm.
already frustrated or something
Mm.
like that.
It's like
Most
that
of them are
second
like
chance at
maybe
life.
school dropouts or
Mhm.
things like that. So to go back to school at the age of 35, it's like,
Mm.
but actually it's a good thing that you need to go back to school
Mhm.
Yeah.
when you go. Then things will be a little bit easier. But still, even the petty jobs, you need some certificates. You know, you need the
Mhm.
first aid, you need the CPR, so there's some kind of education that you kind of have to do
Okay.
in
Yeah.
order to really settle in. So if you're not ready for books, you're gonna struggle.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there are more Ugandans coming to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Many.
The past 5 years, yeah,
Yeah.
since
think-
COVID-19, yeah.
Yeah, they saw how good it became. There was a recent video, well, not recent. I think there was a video circulating
Mm-hmm.
that there were some Africans stuck, but majority of them were Ugandans because I could hear the accent and you could tell that this one's a Ugandan from the accent and the name. And they were stuck, like there was a housing crisis of some sort for those who were coming in. But I saw some comments, some people were saying people were claiming to be homosexuals to get the papers in Canada.
Oh wow. Yeah, it's kind of a sensitive thing. But,
Yes, definitely.
But just to explain it,
Mm.
a lot, majority of people who come to Canada, they do what they claim, or what they call refugee claimant.
Mm.
So those people on the streets or in the videos that you saw,
Yeah.
they were in that category. There are so many categories that people settle in Canada. Work permit, student, tourist visa, or immigration. Immigration could be like you're sponsored with your family, or you're just an investor,
Okay.
or you're just a refugee claimant. So that was from the refugee claimant section. People have their claims to why they leave the country, whether political, domestic, or sexual orientation, something like that. So it wasn't specifically that.
Yeah, thank you for correcting
So
me.
to be a refugee claimant, you need a reason to why.
Uh-huh.
Because being a refugee claimant in Canada, it means you have fears to go back to your original country, that your life
Is
is
in danger.
So,
Yeah.
you know, about Uganda in terms of what you asked me,
Yeah.
maybe that's why.
I mean, yeah. I
Okay.
mean, if you fear for your life
I
in
saw
this
that.
country,
Was that a lady or a guy?
it was a guy.
Yeah, he didn't look like he was gay at all. But
you can-
sometimes you can't tell. But he
But
he looked like he was just didn't want to
Yeah.
come
What
back.
you mean?
No, that Negro right there, he didn't want to come back.
he just he had dreams of making it in Canada, I guess.
I think I seen him at Bandali Rise one night
Stop.
at the Ciroc brunch.
He was making what they call a good lie.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I saw him at the
I like to
Ciroc
get
brunch the other
it.
night.
So if they come in with different classes, so let's say like they're refugees and they're claiming they can't go back to the country of origin because of something, What does Canada offer them?
Oh, it offers them safety.
Mm.
Yeah, it offers them safety. It's like you can't go back. You have evidence. You have proof. Okay.
How do you
So-
how do you have proof?
Oh yeah, people have
Papers.
proof.
WhatsApp
How do you prove
messages,
that?
screenshots,
Oh my God.
threats on your life. Yeah, that's proof.
So you gotta like, I don't even want.
Maybe I think you can prove like they beat me up.
Like in real, even Uganda has refugees, right? They
Yeah.
have genuine reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, so people have genuine reasons because even Uganda has refugees.
Yeah.
So it's the same scenario in Canada. It's
But they gotta have proof they're gay, right?
It's real.
There's
it's
a certain
real.
comedian, bleep his name out. It's called Sammy. He did a whole documentary with BBC. He was saying that he fears for his life because he's gay.
those two dudes that do
Yeah, the massages in the ghetto. Is it the
those, like one is like really small, one is tall.
Yes, that one.
I think those dudes probably really are gay.
But you see, that's proof, and they can get
Yeah.
in.
But are they really gay though?
Well, that's what the we don't want to put them out
the
there.
one that always dresses like girls and stuff like that, those guys.
Yeah. I don't want to put them out there like that. But I'm just saying that could be proof. I mean, you have a whole documentary on your life. You're clearly telling these people that you fear for your
But
life.
they're big on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
Are they still here?
I don't know if they left. I think they're still here. I think they went to the States.
I don't think it's safe here.
Thank you.
It's not safe here. You don't
For
know
those
them-
people.
you don't
Both
know
of them?
you
Both
don't-
of them? They were a couple?
No. Okay.
It's
Let's not
not
put them out
allowed
there like
in
that.
Uganda. It's illegal in
You know
Uganda.
homosexuality
Wait,
is
they were
illegal.
really a couple?
It is.
That little one, yeah, he definitely, yeah.
Yeah. No, but I was trying to show you
definitely-
that can be proof.
Yeah.
So maybe you can say, I fear for my life. Screenshot.
You cannot say it has to be real.
Yeah, that dude, that TikTok,
Like you cannot
go
say
look at they
it
TikTok.
has to be real because the fact that it's illegal in Uganda.
Yeah.
So if your life is in danger, because here I think the rules are so clear. Right?
Yes, very.
It's mob injustice or death or whatever.
Yeah.
So if your life is in danger, then you can seek safety. I think in all the world, right? UK, USA,
Not the States.
everywhere.
I don't know about
Oh,
what
not
Trump
the
is doing
states
now.
anymore.
Yeah,
with
not those
Trump.
ones.
Trump
Okay,
is
yeah.
going
Trump doesn't want to welcome anyone. Anyway, that aside, I spoke about the housing crisis, and I have a client. Shout out to Lekki, he's
Yeah.
in Canada, and he talked about like there's some sort of there's a housing crisis in Canada, and he was
Mhm.
saying people are finding it hard to maybe rent or they have to move out of the city, like move so far away from the city just to find housing, and it got me thinking, what's the reason for that?
It's because, like, I'll speak about our people in, like, the Ugandans. We want to be together. We want to be. It's like how people move. Like Toronto is a very popular place. I don't know where your friend is, but those famous cities, Toronto,
I think it's
Ottawa,
Montreal.
yeah, those kind of cities
Mm.
that are really like. It's just like any other here in Uganda where you find the high end and the
and
it depends, but housing is so complicated depending on where you want to stay, which province you want to be in, which area, you know. On the suburbs, of course, it's more affordable.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Or it also depends on your income.
Mm.
So you might opt for sharing because we have shared accommodation. You know? Yeah. You might opt for a bachelor's apartment, like a studio, versus having a one bedroom. So it depends on your circumstance, your job, the area, and where you want to stay, you know? So that's kind of a choice.
Let me ask you, like, because right now there's a big hostility towards immigrants in the United States, especially like in the Black community. I'm an African American. Like, we come from the slave trade,
Yes.
and then to America, and now like the new Africans, they're coming, and the new Caribbeans are coming, and so at first it's okay. Then you start getting into the hostility between us and them.
Yes.
And so now at a point, and even the whites that are there, at some point, they start telling all of the immigrants, like, why are you here? Go back to where you're from. This is our country.
Yeah, that's
things like
totally-
that.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happens when the immigrants such as yourself, because, obviously you're trying to help Ugandans come there, but at a time, those whites might be upset that these immigrants are taking opportunities from them because they've been there and they feel like they built this country, and the new people who are from their country are changing the country into what is different from what their forefathers wanted it for them.
Yeah.
So have you experienced those conversations coming? Because typically that will happen.
Well, it's there. It's real. That is racism. Racism is there. It's racism.
You think it's racism?
It's racism
Why do you think it's racism?
because, for example, in Canada, everybody's an immigrant apart from the Indians. You know, the Aboriginal people. Everybody is an immigrant
Really?
in Canada. But if you're not an Aboriginal and you don't have the indigenous status, you're also an immigrant.
Even the white
doesn't
ones.
matter your color. Doesn't
She's
matter
right.
your color.
technically.
As long as you're not the indigenous Aboriginal person, then yeah, you're also an immigrant.
but these
like
people-
myself, the only difference is your color.
But these people feel like it is us who have developed the economy and the technology and the military, and you're coming and you're benefiting from things that you did not contribute to.
Because we work so hard. Because when you're in a foreign country, home, there's no place better than home. You're always thinking about home, you know. A lot of people even have this idea that I will retire. I'll retire in my home country. I'll retire. A few people call it home, but they always like, I have to go back home because it's just the partial part of your family that is there with you. A majority of the family, like in Uganda, we have extended family.
Yeah.
So you, every single day until you die, you're working so hard
To go back.
to go back home
Okay.
because you have somewhere you're coming from. So that pushes you to work. Some other people are just working so hard to settle in that beautiful country as citizens for their generations, for their children.
Okay.
You know, like they're like, okay, this is my country, this is my children. Believe me, there are some people who don't want even to come back home and they've made Canada their home.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there are so different reasons to why they work so hard because they came from somewhere. Because even in my passport, it says my name's Canadian, but place of birth, it says Mengo because that's the hospital I was born. So I have a Canadian passport. I'm applying for a Ugandan visa to come to Uganda. Or I have a Canadian passport. I'm going to the UK. I'm going to the US. But it's right in front of me that, hey,
You're born in
you're not born in Canada. You're Ugandan.
Yeah.
Because my birth, it's there in the
Mengo.
passport.
Yeah.
So it's right in the face.
Okay. So you face hostility.
Of course, definitely.
What
by
about the
cover.
new people? Do you think that they're also facing
Of
this
course,
hostility?
Racism is everywhere. It's real.
And
It's real.
you think you think that is racism?
It is.
It's okay. Well, okay. Could you give us an example of what sort of racism you've come across? Like something
If
that has
we
been
apply
directed
for the
towards you.
for the same job
Or they'll give it to a white person?
with different colors, the percentage of who gets the job.
It's whites.
I didn't say that.
Okay, but no. This is a good reason
Hey.
because I think that the people who might want to subscribe to your
Go.
YouTube channel and want to leave and go to Canada, they should know these things,
Yeah.
the good and the bad.
That's why you need the education so you can compete.
They compete. Okay,
That's why you need the good experience so you can compete, so that they don't have an option but to hire you.
so how much my dad used to always tell me, and I was born in America, raised in
Yeah.
America.
Yes.
I don't know which one of my ancestors came from Africa. I'd have to trace it. Like we were born in Louisiana. My father's and mother was. So many years ago, I don't know how that came from Africa to Louisiana or wherever it was.
Yeah.
And he says, even if you're a Black American, you need to be 10 times better than that person who's white.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So is that the case if you're a Ugandan trying to compete with the Canadian?
Absolutely.
It's the same case.
Yes. You gotta do better.
Mm-hmm.
The opportunities are there, but you need the right papers. You need the right everything. You need to do things right.
Mm-hmm.
Like I always tell my kids, like, you're going to these schools, but you're different. I always tell them, you are so different.
Why are they different?
Why are they different? Because something so simple can lead a Black student into trouble versus
Oh, wait.
Such as?
when they see Black is violence,
Yeah.
when see Black is hunger, is what? It's like attitude.
Mm-hmm.
It's what? So you gotta prove your point.
You have to work harder. And
Let me just ask this, because those people who are coming from Uganda, where it may not be, this is no disrespect to living here, as competitive in the marketplace as Canada, and they've had like maybe not to be so competitive like Canada or the West is. And so they're thinking about Canada, that things are going to be easy, and they have no idea that once your feet hit the floor,
It's different.
you're competing against Asians, the whites, other immigrants,
Indians,
Nigerian
yes,
Canadians,
yes.
Black Jamaican Canadians have been there already.
I always tell people when they come to me, because I give visa tips. Like the first struggle of thinking about going to the diaspora, coming to Canada, is the visa. How do I get the visa? So that's where the struggle comes. And then when people get the visas, they call you when they are so excited and everything, right? And then I'm like, okay, you're celebrating, but you still even have to struggle to pass those airports. Like, I trust me, you have the visa, you have the ticket, you have the hotel booking, but you still have to work so hard to make it inside
to the flight.
there. Not even to the flight, like to make it like through the immigration, the questions.
Yeah.
And it's so frustrating.
What?
It starts from home. It
Yes,
starts from
call them
Entebbe.
out.
You know, it starts from Entebbe. Like, where are you going? What are you going to do? What do you
Why?
have? And all those questions. So you gotta be prepared. I've seen a lot of people working so hard to get the visa and then being deported. It is so sad.
At
and
the
for such
airport.
a silly question that you didn't pay attention to.
They got deported before they got on the flight.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. They could be deported from Entebbe Airport
Before they even
in the
step on the
transit,
plane.
or right there, like you're right at Toronto Pearson, and you're on the next flight. So you gotta be so attentive and prepared. It's not only about the visa, even how do you make it through? The questions, why are you here? What are you gonna do? Okay, boom, you landed, you made it, you're inside there. Where do you start from? Who do you know? What are you gonna do? Like all those questions. So don't be too excited for the visa. What is coming next? Okay, you got all that. I have people who came like last year, like because I organize conferences and all that kind of things. They have the work permits, but they don't even know what to do with them. They do have the work permits. They are legally in Canada, but they don't know what to do. So what is your circles? Who are you talking to? Who is helping you?
That's important.
Like what you said, you find people, they're still in the shelters. 1 year, 1.5 years, they're still in the shelters.
Whoa.
They can't find housing, like you said.
Yeah.
They can't even find somebody to share with. Who
Can't
are you
find
talking
jobs,
to?
things
What
like
are
that.
you
Yeah.
doing? Like, so
Wow.
it's not like, yeah, I'm going to Canada.
Yeah.
It's more than that.
It's hard.
Yeah, I understand. We have a lovely lady who has come here before, Nalum, Rachel Nalum. She's also in
Yes.
Canada.
Yeah.
She talks about the Ugandan community in Canada being like very close and
Mhm.
quite tight. And I think you've also talked about it, like Ugandans like want to stay in one place or something like that. How is the Ugandan culture in Canada?
For me, I've lived in Canada for so long, 20 plus years. So I'm proud Ugandan. You have to be a proud Ugandan. I love my country. I love my people. I'm a community leader. So if you're proud to be called a Ugandan, you can for sure benefit from the community. But there are some people who are not proud to be referred to as Ugandans, and they will just
Oh.
stay away from the
Why?
community. So it depends on how.
Why do you think that is?
Who's that denying that?
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Do you guys you want me to be real or just
Yeah, no, don't be.
real.
We're
Who's out there
Ugandans.
denying?
We're Ugandans' best podcast, even though we don't win that award,
We
but
don't get recognized here.
yeah, we don't cheat to win the awards like others. We won't call their names, but
the community may just be so annoying because as family, there's of course a lot of gossiping. You know, like there
Even when
could
they
be a
go.
lot of like looking into people's businesses, and some people are
Nosy.
introverts. Some people like they don't want to know their business or things like that. Like if you talk about Mama Pitmoff, everybody will know me. Everybody will have my number. Some people are not even comfortable to give out their number. So it depends. So some people get really so paranoid or get so pissed off because of those little things that come up in our community, because we are family, you know. When there's no family that doesn't fight, there's no family that doesn't do all those kind of things. So they're somewhat so annoying, and you're like, you know what, the community, nah.
To each their own. If you want to deny your own people. I guess to each their own.
I mean, let me, Stuart, your
Shout out to
nephew.
him.
Yeah, he said that
Shout out Stuart. He's
it's-
already there, suffering in the snow.
Yeah, he says that in comparisons to maybe some of the other African communities, like the Nigerian community, Ugandans struggle to work together.
Yeah, I watched his show.
You saw it.
He was so hard on
He
Nigerians.
he took a lot of slack on TikTok, and it went viral everywhere.
He was so hard on Nigerians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said he wished.
But whatever he said is true. It's real.
It's real.
Yeah. Like a lot of people, he had some hit back. I think because he mentioned that we didn't have a Ugandan restaurant or something like that.
Yeah.
He got some hit back, but it's real. It's the fact.
Mhm.
Like it's not there. We don't have it.
Really?
They started and they closed. So he said the fact. With our people, with Ugandans, you told me like white people lie so much. Before we started the interview, you're like, you find people lie so much, right?
In Uganda.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
So, so to
Yeah,
talk about the truth,
they're used to me. Yeah,
so
in
it's
this
so
country.
hard to say the truth. So Stuart said the hard truth.
Yes.
And
The
they were
bitter
not
truth.
happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
But
but that's us. Yeah,
do you agree with what he said? He said the truth, but do you have something to add on his truth?
on his truth.
Mm.
He said the truth, but I think Ugandans, they are very supportive. They can support you.
They can. Yes.
They can support you once they like you, and once you give back, once you contribute, they can really support you.
They're like anybody
Like,
else.
Yeah, like
Yes.
I do events, and people have supported me so much.
Mm.
But at the same time, you gotta be very sensitive. You gotta be very sensitive, because it's the same people that can put you up there, and then just one mistake and they can't accommodate you anymore, or they can't tolerate you anymore. So you gotta be like, it's a 50-50 something.
Yeah.
You know? Don't take me wrong. Ugandans in the diaspora, they are very supportive. Like I do events, I take artists and all that kind of things. They do
Yeah.
come and they pay their own money, and it's so hard. They turn up in big numbers.
Whoa.
But you have to respect. You
Money.
have to respect their money. You have to give them something so good.
Right.
So you have to make them come.
Right.
You
Right.
have to be very creative and very innovative, because they party. They go to Nigerian parties. They go to Ghanaian parties. They do. But to make them come to their own events, you have to really work so hard to really.
To really show them. And speaking
can't
of the
take them for
parties that
granted,
you
yeah.
hold, shout out to you.
Yeah.
Make sure any event she comes up with, you guys support in Canada. But Stuart talked about working with Ugandan celebrities and how it was a headache. Has that been your experience?
Oh my
Ugandan
God.
celebrities who go to Canada.
Story time music.
Oh my goodness. That means I won't take any celebrity to Canada.
No, guys.
They won't watch
Off
it.
the record.
I don't think celebrities watch us, do they? We don't have celebrities watching our
no.
podcast. I don't think so.
They don't watch us. No.
No. Do you're safe here.
It's a hassle or on their expectations, starting from the air ticket. Okay, starting from the visa.
Mhm.
Okay, I come to you, you're an artist, you want to come with your manager. La.
Mm-hmm.
Some people move with multiple people.
Yeah. Makeup
So-
artists.
So
Yeah.
you have to really be straight that I'm taking you the visa. I can only maybe give your manager a visa. You pay, like you have to negotiate, but some of them are just so strict. You have to pay for the manager's visa, his visa, the ticket, their accommodation, and everything. So if that celebrity doesn't have enough numbers right from the start, you're making a loss. Okay?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. And then of recent, back in the days, they would accommodate like a leg room, economy, or something like that with a ticket. Now they want business. You know?
Shameless.
So, and you have to know you're going to do this concert. You're flying somebody business with the manager, their accommodation, how much is going to be the entrance for your people to come and see these artists. So you have to do the math. So that's where it becomes. And then, of course, there are celebrities when they go there, like, how are they sleeping? The hotel, hello,
Mhm.
5-star, whatever, what kind of car are you using to take them
Mhm.
around?
My
Like,
God.
like you gotta be nice. If it depends on the celebrity, how nice they are to you, you gotta take them for shopping. You gotta take them to places that
You
are
shop for
happening.
them with your money.
So if
The Ugandan community has that much money in Toronto.
you
It's
take
like that.
celebrities out for shopping.
it depends on the vibe.
They're
But
like
what I'm
spoiled
saying is,
kids.
there's that much business economy for Ugandans in Canada. They can afford they can afford those
Oh
things.
yeah, people are taking celebrities like concerts. We make concerts. I've taken a couple of them.
Yeah,
I've taken
we hear
Winnie
of the
Nwaji. I've
concerts.
taken Spice
Shout out to Winnie
Diana.
They have that
Nwaji.
money in
Taken
Canada.
Like Sheila
Yeah.
Gashumbal. Like yeah.
And they need to take the podcast. So
We're
we
talking to the
go.
right person.
You
She needs to bring us
know,
to Canada.
The dating show. Can we do the dating show?
Oh yeah, that would be so
Yeah.
good.
So yeah.
I already gave you some free candy, so
So
But-
it depends. That's where the frustration is, but it depends on the celebrity and your contract. But
Okay.
some people make the job so nice and so
Yeah,
cool
shout out to them.
that
Shout
by
out to
the
them.
time you look at the take home, you don't really see it because somebody was nice,
Mm.
But yeah, it's a little bit complicated.
Yeah, understandable. I like that answer.
Okay.
Didn't throw anyone under the bus.
Okay. Okay.
We
So
ha-
let me just say this. So
Yeah.
if you're coming from, because most of the diaspora that I see are going to the Middle East. I think like Saudi Arabia is the number one destination, followed by I think it's either UAE or Qatar. So if they're looking to go to Canada, what are some of the suggestions? If you have the top 5 things, looking to go to Canada, what should they do?
You want to go to Canada? Number one, you need a passport.
Okay.
Ugandan
Don't laugh.
passport.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because a lot of people will call you when they don't even have a passport. So you
Mm.
need a passport.
Mhm.
That is number 2. Number 1. Number 2, it involves money. Again, it involves money.
Mhm.
And I'm going to talk about the money.
Mhm.
The money part that it involves, you can lose money.
Mhm.
You can actually lose a lot of money.
Mhm.
That money that won't come back. So you got to be very careful
Mhm.
when you're starting that. Number 3, it involves in being so strong that when you're moving from there, you're coming there, you have a goal. Why are you coming?
Okay, great.
Are you coming
Why?
for pleasure? Are you coming for fun? Are you coming for work? Are you coming for school? Are you coming for settlement? So you gotta focus
Mhm.
on that.
Mhm.
Do not hear about people who have already made it. Do not mind about the TikToks. Do not mind the Snapchat. Do not mind about the dressing.
Right.
To tell you the truth, I did some makeup. I had to think about what to dress.
Right.
So don't think that I'm a millionaire or billionaire, whatever. I just had to
Rich!
respect
Yeah.
this show. So please don't believe in the internet.
Mhm.
Then don't get the information from online information, especially TikTok. Find the right people to get that immigration or visa tips or everything, that people who are genuine and truthful to give you that information. Everybody's an immigration consultant on
Yeah.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Are they?
Everybody's giving
People
visa
turned
tips
into
on
journalists
TikTok.
on TikTok.
And
I need to get on TikTok so I can lie also.
so find where you're
Okay.
getting that information.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for example, I'm going to talk about conferences because I'm into that business of conferences.
Okay.
Right? Do not be excited about a flyer. Do not be excited about a theme of a conference.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dig more, find a website, get to know more. Have they done it? Has it been there? How long has it been there? Or think who is organizing it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Communicate with the people who are organizing it,
Mhm.
because there's a lot of online scammers out there, because it became somehow a business in a way that we take registration fees for sure,
Yeah.
and in terms of in an exchange of an invitation letter.
Okay.
So you gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Then when you start on the visa process, you must have the social ties.
The social ties.
Like the people,
No, the social ties is things that, okay, the catch with the visa
Mm-hmm.
is, why am I giving you the visa? What is the reason you're coming to Canada?
Uh-huh.
And the
Oh, that's how you get
catch-
deported, right?
Yes.
You can get deported that way.
Yes, and the catch is will you return to your country?
Ah.
If it's not a settlement visa, if you're not sponsored,
You need to
or
say
something
yes.
like that. So you gotta show that immigration officer for sure, coming back to Uganda.
You're like, hell no, I ain't coming
So
back.
what is going to make
Be like,
you
I have kids, I have a family.
So what is going to really make you come back to Uganda? You gotta have a job.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have some financial status, like you're a business person or something. You're gonna have maybe some travel experience. You've traveled below. Don't get me wrong. People get visas without traveling, but you gotta have that. You gotta have some family ties. Are you married? Do you have any kids? Don't get me wrong. You don't have kids. You can still travel, but what are the family ties you have? Your
So
mom,
let
your
me just
dad,
ask you this,
your
because some
auntie.
people like go to like Kenya, come back, go to India, come back. There'd be
whatever,
things like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So things like that.
Uh-huh.
You gotta have some investment, some properties, somewhat. So people call it paperwork. So you gotta make sure that your paperwork is clean and authentic.
So it's good to have land here, things like that, right?
You gotta. You see how I dressed up for the show?
You looking good.
You gotta dress up. Thank you so much.
Look
You
at
gotta
that.
dress up
I
for
wanna get
that
your husband to beat me up, though.
immigration officer to really believe you that you really come back. The funny thing with Canada, it's online. It's tricky. It's not like American where they'll fire you questions, they'll look at you, they'll judge you, they'll do what? It's the paperwork, the documents that represent you. So you gotta do it good. But I give those tips on my channel.
Yeah, by the way, she has a whole YouTube channel. Where you
And
can
what's in the
find-
channel?
Chiva Evlaya Visa Tips.
Chiva
Chiva Evlaya
Evlaya.
Visa Tips.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, go subscribe to there.
We'll put it in the description or in the comments.
Yeah.
We did have some questions from our audience. I think Esther was asking which
hi,
African
Esther.
nationality has the most number of people in Canada.
The biggest African
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
nation.
Is it Nigerians?
I would say they're just famous, but I don't know whether the numbers add up. But they are really famous.
Yeah.
Remember.
And the Ghana people are also.
Very
They're
big.
there. West Africans.
What about Zimbabweans? Are they there?
Yeah, yes.
Zimbabweans are the most in Poland, I
Yes.
can say for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
The most.
Even
Yeah.
Ghana people. We have a lot of Ghana people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. She also asked, do Ugandan ladies or men utilize the fiance visa or get whites to sponsor them to go to Canada? Like the 90-day fiance show on TLC.
Yes, of course. That's one way of,
Yeah.
by the way, coming to Canada. Is through it's called family sponsorship. It's in that category, or spouse sponsorship or something like that. Yeah, people really get it's a guarantee. I would say it's 99%.
Yeah.
That you can get it. Why is it 99%? Because during the process, after you prove your relationship and all that kind of thing, there's an interview that comes, the one-on-one interview about your fiancé. So some people fail right there.
Yeah.
His best color is whatever. How long did you speak? Like those kind of stuff. But
yeah. So if you're faking it, there you go. But thank you so much.
Yeah.
Any last words? You're leaving us soon.
I'm leaving you guys soon.
Are you excited about leaving us?
I know. I'm scared.
Why?
I love my country. I love my people, but I'm going back to work. And of course, the weather is not so nice. But yeah. As an immigration, and maybe because I'll just advise people not to fall for fraud. For sure. People lose a lot of money because they really want to go. So if you really want to travel, especially to Canada, because it's a hot cake, be very careful with the people you talk to, with the people you consult, so you don't lose money.
Yeah.
If you applied for a Canadian visa and they've denied you several times, it's not the end of the world. You can reapply again if you don't have a ban. And a lot of people know now, because of that video that went viral, a lot of people think that you can only go to Canada as a refugee. That's not true. There are so many ways you can go to Canada. You can go to Canada as a tourist. You can go to Canada as an international student. You can go to Canada on a work permit. You can go to Canada as a sponsored, like we said, first family sponsorship. So it's not only about claiming refugee status in certain. That's a
You don't
very
gotta.
bad thing.
You don't have to say you're gay to go.
You don't
You don't have to.
Yeah.
Okay, and where can
And-
the people find you if they want to reach to you? Chive Blaya, the YouTube channel. Is that all?
Yes, and my number is there. I'll
Yeah.
give it to you.
On
Don't
the
give it to
YouTube
them.
channel.
These Negroes. They'll call you. I know you married, but
The best way to catch me is WhatsApp.
Yeah, but find her YouTube channel and get her contact. info.
Yeah, my
'Cause
number is there.
these dudes gonna call you from my channel.
I'm married, so I wouldn't sponsor
Yeah.
anybody.
Yeah. Speaking of your lovely husband,
Yes.
is it you who sponsored him to go to Canada?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Oh
I did.
lovely.
And my children are Canadian born.
Oh.
So
nice.
yes.
Okay.
Mm.
Lovely.
So
Okay.
love you so much. Thank you
Yeah.
guys for hosting me.
Oh,
I'm
thank
so
you
addicted
so much
to your
for
channel.
coming. Oh really?
Thanks so for the message and everything. I'm a fan.
Should we move our
Oh.
podcast to Canada, or should we just stay here in Uganda?
I promise you this one thing. We're on air, right?
Yes.
If you visit, I got you. And
Wow.
Stuart is there. We got you guys.
So should we stay here
Let's move to Canada, guys.
and suffer, or
Let's move to Canada.
should we go to Canada and become rich
no,
also?
No, come and visit. If you like it, then you can choose to stay. But
Yeah,
come.
That's the
for
way
sure.
to go. But yeah,
Yes.
thank
But
you.
what's your
thank
favorite
you.
one, the dating show or the podcast?
The dating show because it's so fun.
You like it because it's funny?
Yes.
Oh,
Funny.
nice.
It's
Okay.
fun, yeah.
All right, guys, we've come to the end of this one. Should you have something to say?
No, thank you so much for coming, and well, I learned a lot today.
Yeah.
You know, seeing things from somebody that's, I think immigrants' pathway is, I've heard similar from Dubai,
Yes.
but I think that people just think that it's so easy,
Yeah.
and they don't know that they're gonna work. I tell people that work with us all the time,
Mhm.
if you think this is hard, go to the States,
Yes.
and go to Canada. Jonita, I'm trying to tell her, yeah, if you think this is hard, you leave me and you go there.
I hear
You
you.
work.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have
Yeah,
to work. You
you
have
work.
to really work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's no joke.
And thanks for choosing to come to Uganda. And thanks for choosing to invest here.
Yeah.
Thanks
Thank
for
him.
giving
Thank you.
people opportunities. You're so nice.
For providing opportunities
for the
to,
candy.
to some
You like the can-
Ugandans.
I gave her a Mr. Good bar, guys. So
But yeah, guys, thank you so much, guys.
when I told her it's from America, she left the other candies alone. Oh, this is America. Oh, really? She took that one and threw the other ones away.
Okay, guys. You can find us on our social media pages at Kengana Nation. Find me at Janita Maya. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you.